Everything you said we already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
I can't talk. This is here. I don't know another word for it. This is that wine bottle wall. Yeah. Feeling on my. Sorry about the noise. I don't know if you could hear it that well, but there's like a pump running and the air conditioner, and I'm outside obviously, so there's other noise that's going to be going on, so hopefully you can hear me well. I'm going to try and get this done because I go back to work tomorrow, and then it'll be another week before I can record, because I don't record during the week. So let's get into this. We're going to go over the first 2 parts of this book that talks about living a holistic lifestyle, and that's how we're going to start this book series. So the first key in this book is living a holistic lifestyle. And if you get the book, then you started to read it, so you know that it gives you like an overview at first. And so, like I said, that's just what I'm going to go through on this first part, and then each week we will hit on a different key and cover this whole book and the different things that I talk about in the book. So yeah, let's do this. This first part is choosing to live. So when I did the overview of this book, if you haven't seen that video, you can go back and watch it. But like I said, I feel like a lot of people don't really live life. And I'm not saying you have to move into a van and go travel around or any of that stuff, but a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are just surviving, and barely even that for some people. They're living in misery and depression and anxiety, and that's no way to live. It's not. Like, I don't care what anybody says. So I really think that you have to choose to live. And yeah, you know, it's not going to magically change anything just choosing to live, but you have to consciously choose that for yourself, because that'll be like your driving force. If you don't really have a a want or a why or a driving force, you're not going to get but so far. That's like the same thing with people with their resolutions to lose weight. You know, if your want and your need isn't big enough, you're only going to last like a month. You know, if it's a health risk and, you know, you're in your deathbed and or this or that, like if you have something bigger, then you're more likely to stay committed to it. So you have to really choose to live. So when I start off in this book, I talk about there's 3 different types of people. There could be more, but I just give you 3 different types of people. One are the people that want it. The other one are the people that need it. And then the third one are the people that know it. And if you look through the book, I go through the descriptions of each one of those. So a person that wants it is someone that knows that there's more to life. They're tired of struggling. They're tired of the same monotonous day-to-day type of a thing. They want more to life. The other one, the ones that need it, are the ones that have like something, a health risk in their life, or like this is their last option. They're at the rock bottom. They're thinking, they're having suicidal thoughts, that type of a thing. They need this type of information to help change their life. And then the last one are the people that know it. So these are people that have had this information before. This is nothing new. Maybe they just want to see if there's anything else that they can learn, or to just rehash through some of the information that they already know about. So that's those type of people. So I give those overviews of those 3 type of people just so you know where you fall in line and what you should be looking and expecting for in this book. Then I go into the part of a holistic life. So that takes you to key number 1. You can see that right there. And a life of holism. So I looked up the definition of holistic or holism before I came out here, just so it's not just my opinion. I can kind of give you a definition that's out there, generic definition. So what I got was, holism is the theory that parts of a whole are an intimate interconnection. They cannot exist independently of the whole. So basically a whole is merely the sum of its parts. So you can't have an orange unless you have the seed, the inside, and the outer peel. Outside of that, it's not an orange. You know, hopefully that'll help you understand a little better. Like you, this body, this being on this earth, is not a human being if it doesn't have a soul, if it doesn't have the mind, and if it doesn't have like a physical body. So that's basically what holism, the technical definition of it, means. Is it's a theory that parts of a whole are an intimate interconnection. They cannot exist independently of the whole. Because if they do, then it's not that whole. Okay? In medicine, and this is why I really got into this type of a thinking, is that in medicine, a lot of the times with the pharmaceuticals and things like that, we're treating symptoms. And we're not trying to really prevent it. That's like a personal thing you have to do on your own, which is why this lifestyle is a good choice. When you go to the doctor and things like that, you're just treating it at that point. You went past the preventing side of it more than likely. Sometimes you can get it before, but normally they're just treating symptoms. They're treating the pain. They're treating the sickness, and that's it. They're covering it up. They're just trying to make you feel better to get you to the next day. So in the medical sense, the way this is very influential is because not only are you taking into account the physical symptoms, but you're taking into account the mental and the social factors that add to the physical symptoms. And they do affect you. So that's why I got really interested into this side of things. So that's like holism, like a little definition for you all. And so let's see. Got like the sirens. I'll let them go by. Jeez, it's like more keep coming. Okay, I'm gonna back up for a second. I was about to jump to the next thing. So on page 3 of this book, if you get the book, you can go to that page and see what I'm referencing to. But if not, I'm gonna tell you now that I refer to a book called Outwitting the Devil. And it's written by, Napoleon Hill. You may have heard of him. He wrote Think and Grow Rich. But there's a book that not a lot of people know about. It's called Outwitting the Devil. And it was a very interesting book. I have it on PDF. And it's basically like a conversation between him and the devil. And he kind of gets, like, he understands and finds out a lot of the devil's tricks. And it's a way for you to understand it so that you can guard yourself, basically. So one of the things that really stuck out to me was the hypnotic rhythm. He talks about that, and you can actually look this up online. I didn't know that like this was a thing more than what I had read in this book, but some have it says the law of the hypnotic rhythm. So, and if you read in my book, you'll understand it a bit better, but just a quick little overview for you. The hypnotic rhythm is basically what they describe as like a whirlpool, and everything throughout your life flows into your body and your mind. And if something is repeated, a lot of times it's in this whirlpool and it's continuously repeated. So it's going over and over and over. Then it becomes a habit, or it becomes this thought that's subconscious in your mind that you continuously tell yourself. And we're going to talk about this later, but this is where limiting beliefs come into play. Is that you've been taught or conditioned for so long that this or that or whatever it is, and it's continuously going around in this rhythm, this imaginary hypnotic rhythm that's affects you throughout your life, and that determines your outlook on life, your beliefs, and how you feel things affect you and how you bring things into your life. And so understanding that and how you can actually manipulate that rhythm, and you can actually choose what goes into that rhythm, which means then you can change your thoughts and you can change the way you see things. You know, that's when you can start to change your life and find out, you know, once you start putting these things in there, you can start to see a change. It takes a while because, you know, if you're a kid and you're growing up and you've heard all this stuff and you've learned all this stuff, or whatever it is that's been coming into you all of your life for decades, I mean, it takes a while to change that, because that's ingrained in you. It's in this rhythm. So yeah, I talk about hypnotic rhythm, so look that up if you don't know anything about it, and you can also read about it in the book a little bit more. So yeah, but that is one thing I did want to hit on, because That's something to think about too, is that's like the subconscious side of things that you don't see. And it's just a way to understand that things that you put into your body, things that have come into you subconsciously, self-talk, which I dive into that in here deeper later. I think I do that during the limiting beliefs part of this. But you subconsciously tell yourself things, and if you don't control that, someone else is controlling that. So yeah, that's a big thing, is to understand that and to take control of that. Let's go to the next thing, which now we have a helicopter. Okay, it's gone now. So one more thing with that hypnotic rhythm is, once you understand that and you start to dive into that, you will start to understand and see things that have been holding you back. You've been holding yourself back in a lot of areas. We can't blame anyone else. We have to take responsibility for all of our actions, all of our responses, all of our emotions. And then we have to understand why we have those thoughts and emotions and all of that. So that's one thing. You have to come to grips and come to terms. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be hard. Your ego's going to want to take over. But you have to understand what's holding you back, why it's holding you back, and then how you can change that.